kind of in the same boat, so to speak. So, um, but it's great to meet you. I'm very interested in peeling back the layers of the work that you do as a love guru. And before we get to that point, I want to know 4 years ago, one of the more tumultuous events that's happened in our lifetimes with the
COVID.
pandemic was taking hold. How did you survive that time period? And how did it change the way that you do business now?
It was great for business. People
Yeah.
were lonely, and I taught them how to find love and do it safely back then. And I had a lot of women find boyfriends during that time. It
Yeah.
was like amazing. I know when it first happened, I was thinking, oh, nobody's going to want to meet anybody, but they wanted to meet someone more, and they were willing to start with masking and, all the protocols. They met on park benches, they sat away from each other. And then as they got to know each other, they set the protocols up for how they were going, who they were going to talk to or be in front of so that they felt safe.
So if I put you in front of a bunch of third grade students right now and it's career day and one of the kids says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
Hey, I help people find love with a partner, or I help people find, uh, love again, like your grandparents. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's who it is, people over 50. So I guess it would be, I help your grandparents find someone they want to love.
So what did you want to be when you were that age in the third grade? What was your dream?
A teacher, I think. I
Okay.
look back and I remember playing school with my sister all the time. And here I am, a teacher. As a coach, I'm a teacher. So who knew?
Yeah. Well, how did these seeds become you? Where were you born and raised, and what were some of the more specific seeds that were planted to grow into you wanting to be a teacher and a coach and helping people find love?
Oh my God. So my sister and I played imaginary play a lot, school with Barbies, just a lot of imagination. There was no technology then.
Yeah.
And So when I was going to go to college, I really just didn't know what I wanted to do. No idea. So my parents took me to a place that tested me. And this is right in the middle of women's lib. And my test scores come back as like being at home and a homemaker. And I'm like, my mother nearly fell off the chair and thought, why did I waste all my money on this? It was like, oh, and I have to say, I did raise my kids. I was at home. I did have a business then. I was a photographer, very self taught, and I was really good at it. But one of the things I noticed, and I see this with clients too, women, is who I work with, is that we don't necessarily have confidence in ourselves and what we can do. And I was an amazing photographer and didn't feel it. And that happens in dating where women are amazing and they can't see this inner amazingness that gets reflected on the outside.
So let me ask you this. What has been one of your favorite client success stories so far? What is one of them that really kind of rises up?
Oh my gosh. I had a client that came to me and she was from Florida, and we started working together, and she sends me her pictures. And this is how the image within is so bad. She sends me this picture. Do you remember the picture? I can't remember who this is by, where it's a man and a woman holding pitchforks. Have you ever seen this
Yeah.
before? It's very
Yeah,
famous.
it's the painting in DC, it's the Chad. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is how she looked in the picture she sent to me. She had on scruffy boots. She had on blue jeans, some kind of t-shirt. And I said to her, where's your pitchfork? All right. It was very revealing. So we worked really hard on helping her relight that inner glow to really get in touch with who she was. Then we worked really hard on helping her understand men because we grew up in an era where we were kind of taught to step on men to get ahead. And we weren't really taught to understand that men are not women and women are not men. So I helped her get a really good understanding of relating to men. and also getting a super clear vision of who she wanted. Because most people go out and date from how they dated in their 20s. And that's the time you're finding a baby daddy and hormones are kicking in and chemistry is intense. Since I work with women over 50, they go out there, they look for that same thing, that chemistry hit. Whereas at this time in our lives, we're looking for someone to really play with, to have fun with, to have our back through the ups and downs. And men, by the way, too, but they too also still date like in their 20s. So anyway, it was time she got this clear vision of a new type of man because she had a very broken picker. And it was time for her to do her pictures. So she went and bought new clothing. She went and I didn't know she was out there buying the clothing. One day she says, "I have pictures for you." And I saw these pictures. It was like a total transformation. She had on clothing that flattered her. You could see that inner glow coming through the pictures. And then she went out and she found a great guy who actually was with her when she got sick. But when that was over, he was very, very supportive. He moved on and she was devastated. And she was like back to square one in her head. And then I helped her get back out there and she found her true love the second time. So I think that's one of my favorites. I have so many because
Yeah,
I love when these women find love, but this was a real, true, not rags to riches, but feeling crappy to feeling amazing
yeah.
and to being able to get what you want.
Who's been a hero for you in your life?
Who's been a hero? My dad.
Yeah.
Because, I'll get teary. He just taught me so much about life. And so he lived to 98. And you touched such a soft spot in me.
Oh,
And he just taught me how a better way to live life and to go through to go with the flow because he grew up through the depression.
yeah.
He grew up fighting in World War II and he grew up before credit cards where, wasn't easy with money. And he just taught me how to be a survivor. He taught me how to go after what I wanted and how to really live a fun and fulfilling life.
So if you could meet anybody on the planet right now that you find inspirational, who would that be? Who would you love to meet and talk to?
Who would I love to meet and talk to? Um, Why, that's a good question. I could tell you like everyone's go to Oprah Winfrey
Yeah,
because her story
yeah,
is so amazing and her heart is so big and her generosity. And that's why I would love to talk to her. How did she get from being so poor to so generous?
yeah,
She got the wealth along the way, but it's her heart stayed open. She wasn't arrogant about her success. She was truly a human being. And that's the part that inspires me about her,
yeah.
is how she kept her humanness and helped people. She made a difference in women's lives and men too.
Yeah, yeah, she did. She's a towering influence. So, what is the motivation for you every day to get up to do the work that you do? Because you really have to give a lot to help people find love, but you also have to maintain your level of being a person evolving. How does that work? What's the gas in your tank every day for you?
Well, first of all, in the morning, I definitely take care of myself. I sit down and I do this meditation. Um, a coach of mine taught me this. You get in touch with four aspects of yourself: your mind, your heart, your body, and your higher power, whatever that looks like. And you ask each one, what message or how are you doing today? What message do you have for me? And then what do I need to do? And it's like very, very powerful. That starts the fire glowing. And then I think about the clients I've worked with and the difference I've made in their lives. And when they come back to me and they say, "I found my guy," or I got an email once where this woman wrote back, it was about 2 years after we worked together. And she said, "I just had to quickly write you and tell you I got married yesterday, or I'm moving in with someone." Excuse me, we have such allergies here right now.
Yeah,
Um, it is, sorry, it is just knowing that this work is about making a difference in their lives and helping them truly to probably for the first time feel good about themselves. That is
yeah.
the biggest thing.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
What's the best advice I've ever gotten? Stop and reflect
Yeah.
because I have a tendency to just go, 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 go. And I'll push through when I'm tired. And the best advice I heard was stop. You're not
Yeah.
creative then. You're not able to help anybody then.
Yeah.
And it's to recharge. Because as women, we're natural nurturers and we will give up for others. And we burn out and our battery is low. So then what happens is we have nothing to really give. We're giving on fumes. And it's this much versus like this much that you could get, or more, actually, this much all around the world that
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah. So, you've seen a lot of very good love stories. You live your own love story in your own life. If you were to have a dream tonight and you ran into an 18-year-old version of you, you can give that version of you a piece of advice based on the life you've led, the wisdom you've gained. What advice would you impart on that 18-year-old version, and would that version listen?
Oh my God. Um, I would tell my 18-year-old to go and have fun.
Yeah.
Stop worrying so much. Stop trying to figure it all out. It will come. Get quiet, learn to meditate, and to really connect into source, whatever that looks like. For me, I know what it is, but to do that and to really follow my heart because we all follow our heads and it's our hearts that are the truth and then to just have fun,
Yeah.
stop being so serious. Also, to really get in touch with how amazing, you're 18, you are at the end of high school going into college, and you go from feeling amazing to like a little fish in the pond. And it's
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah. For sure. So, of
uh
all of these things that you've done in your life up to this point evolved into, what are you the proudest of?
I think creating this business
Yeah.
because like I told you, I got tested to do nothing but be a homemaker. I think also being a great photographer,
Yeah.
and my creativity, but making this business or creating this business because I did it because I cried when I started dating. I was in my early 50s. I just cried and cried and cried because I did not, no, actually, I was in my mid 40s when I started. Sorry. And that was after my first divorce, but I cried and cried and cried because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't feel good about myself. I came from being a soccer mom to suddenly have to go out there and date, and I didn't want another business. I didn't want another woman to suffer the way I was suffering, and I was
Yeah.
really suffering. And I didn't want another woman to do that. Anyone I worked with, I wanted to have their back while we're working together and ultimately empower them to have their own back and to learn to honor themselves because we as women do not always honor ourselves. We
Yeah.
give it away.
So at the end of the day, everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Oh, okay. I have good hair. No.
Yeah.
My perception of me is I'm really warm and I really am a compassionate and caring person with a huge heart. As you saw when I got teary about my dad, I can cry with anything touches my heart. It like makes me really teary. So, and also that I just care that I want to at this time in my life just make a difference. And I think that's my legacy is really, really making a difference in others' lives, where whether it's my clients, my kids, my granddaughters, friends. I have friends say to me, I never would have thought about what you shared with me. And it's really helped me think about things in a different way. And I do
Yeah.
it for myself too. So it's
Yeah.
not like I'm out there doing it for everyone else
Yeah.
alone.
Right.
It starts here first.
So if anyone wants to dive into this world and go to your website and actually be a part of this or reach out to you, any questions, anything, what's the good business? Where do they go?
They can go to a website called findaqualityman.com because I had a coach when I was first starting my business said, pick the pain that people have the most. And it was, I can't find a quality man. So
Yeah.
I named the business findaqualityman.com. Or you can also email me at lisa@findaqualityman.com as well.
Excellent. Lisa, this has been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for your story. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. I
Yes,
appreciate being here.
absolutely. Thank you.